Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Prime of Midlife Live. It is Sunday evening, so if you could just let me know that you can hear me okay, that would be rather nice. Let's see who we have. Oh, what have I done there? Would you believe? I think that's actually my phone telling me that I'm going live. Weird. We've got Willow, good evening. Coco, hello. Carreno, good evening. Let's see. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Charlene, good evening from Arizona in the USA. Good evening, Charlotte. Patrick, hello, sweetie. Cluster Bungle, good evening. Linda, hello. Decluttering Queen, welcome back. Lana, good evening. The cat is still playing with that fish. Can I just say it's hysterical? Joe, hello there. Sarah, good evening. Look at this. Welcome back to another Sunday Night Live. I hope you're all doing well. Today, as you probably saw, we did some shopping in Farmfoods, so that was quite interesting. I was very very good, and I did not buy a load of frozen stuff because my freezers are quite full enough, and I need to eat things from them. It's all very well having stuff in the freezers, but if you just leave it there, it's not much use to man the beast. So we will be eating out of the freezer mostly this week, and we will get as much done as we can with that. Oh, Sarah, good evening. Gail. Oh, Falkirk, just down the road. Ashley, will I be including go-to bags? I take it you mean the too good to go bags? They're only worth it for me, Ashley, if I am in Perth. Because there's only one small shop near me that does it, and it's not really worth it. But if I get any while I'm in Perth, then yes, I will. It's known which ones to go for because I've tried the Morrison's cafe ones before and they were dreadful. The Aldi one has been good, the Morrison's one has been good, and even the Greg's Bakery one was pretty good. So if I'm in Perth for any reason, then yes, I literally, when I'm heading for Perth, search to see what too goods to go bags. Um, Cat Mumford from Denmark. Good evening, little black cat. Thank you. Joe, good evening. How you doing? Um, but yeah, that's the one thing I've tried. Too good to go bags, and what else? The Olio app. There's no one here does the Olio app, so I'd need to drive like 12 miles to get anything. So again, that would be if I was in the area, then yeah, I would try that. Alan, good evening. Did I pick up Blue Roll? No, no, I have a stash. Um, so we're all right with that. I have to say, I was standing in Farmfoods going, look at the price of those tea bags. Those tea bags are really quite good. I have thousands of tea bags in the house, so I was quite proud of myself that I did not buy any more. Willow, warm wheaty bag, Eddie, bed socks, pajama. I have to say that new fleecy thing that I got for my birthday, it is fabulously warm. I don't even need to put on any heating in the morning now. I just put that on when I'm coming down the stairs. And what a difference it has made. Oh, thank you, Coco. Yes, I did have a lovely day. I had prezzies at work, and Patrick was here, and then we went out for dinner on the Saturday. So, yes, I did. I had a lovely birthday. Thank you. And of course, I got Lana's present through the post, which was half for me and half for the cat. The cat has a catnip fish, which is fabulous. Um, yeah, Nettie, that is, I am with you on that one. The rural supermarkets are so much more expensive. Um, I know that myself, Mandy, that I work with, a lot of us, we only go to the small local supermarket if we're having an emergency. We normally will go and get a big shop in Perth because just the prices are prohibitive if you're looking to do a proper shop. Anne E, good evening from the Netherlands. Nice. And thank you, Careno. Um, Tempted by t-shirts. Oh yeah. hmm Crazy Solo. Yeah, it's catching the right to good to go bag at the right time. I know that the one here from Morrison's is pretty quick. Um, Michelle, good evening from the US, Midwest even. Large choice of grocery stores, but they all seem to cost about the same these days. There's a lot of that going on, Michelle. We're lucky here that you've got your mainline supermarkets, which is like your Tesco's, Asda's, whatever. But then you've got your Lidl's and B&M and Home Bargains, which are like your discounts, and Farmfoods, which is mainly frozen, but a lot of tinned and packet stuff as well. So it's quite good. Um, Susan, good evening. Charlotte, just finishing it, nipping a lap blanket for the car on those cold, cold morning. Oh, great idea, Charlotte. I actually took my one of my crocheted blankies into work because it's although we have a storage heater which keeps the office kind of warm, as it gets colder, it's my feet and my legs that get cold because we've got a wee fan heater, but it doesn't, obviously the hot air rises. So yeah, I have a lap blanket at work. The boys all laughed at me when I went in with it, and they're like, "You're going to put is that for your legs?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm not being cold. I can't. I'm miserable if I'm cold." Yep, Coco, smaller local supermarkets. Yeah, I mean it is. It's dreadful. Juliet, good evening, and you've only missed what 6 minutes, which is mainly being saying hello and talking about too good to go bags. Glennis, good evening. From Dublin, prices are really expensive here too. Yep. Yeah, Michelle, you're going into what Glennis is saying there. I think the prices are just not you don't get to there's not a lot of low priced places now. Everything's gone up so much. Sarah, yes, no, we've had one set of fireworks, which Raven sort of sat up and looked and then came and sat in my lap. But again, rural, we don't get a lot of that. Where do you tend to buy toiletries? Normally the supermarket, Nettie, because Boots is the centre of town, so I wouldn't be going in there. Um, so yeah, no, it's normally just the supermarkets I buy toiletries. Charlene, is the cat still playing with her new toy fish? Oh yes, she is, Charlene, and she is giving it loudly. She comes in, has a bit of sniff, and then is like, "Oh, that's a catnip," and then the poor fish gets badly attacked. Um, Alan, yes, that mayo is really, really good. Angeline, good evening. No need for apologies, sweetheart. Nana Paula, good evening. Oh, Nana Paula is staying looking after her mum that's just out of hospital. Anne, good evening. I hope you get better soon, sweetheart. And I hope Nana Paula looks after you well. Come and tell me if she's not. Nadine, good evening. Cats didn't bat an eye with the fireworks, yep. Yeah, Patrick, you're right. The cat does go completely crazy for the fish. Order a lot of canned foods from Amazon. Oh, yeah, I haven't done that for ages. Crazy Souls cats are liking the thing. Ashley, my wood stove is keeping my utilities down. It's really well. If you imagine as I've said before, my regular electricity bill was £150 a month, and it started climbing with the storage heaters. And we took the storage heaters out. I'm still on £150 a month. That's with all the prices going up. But then I do get a lot of wood from work because it's a construction company and there's a joiners next door that I'm allowed to go and steal wood out their skip. So yeah, it's absolutely been worth it for me. I would say within this year, this winter, I will probably have paid it off. Um, oh bless Susan, that's not so good. Lana, yeah, Raven is having lots of fun. Vicky, good evening. Alabama Whitman, good evening to you. Mary Beth Tanner, hello, nice to see you. Yeah, well, what night of the year when it is, it's your cat being deaf is definitely a bonus. Julia, yeah, I've noticed that there's a lot of things that used to be there in the supermarkets are not there anymore. Um, funnily enough, just changing the subject a bit. Oh, Ben, good evening. Um, what I noticed today, we went shopping, obviously, and then we went out for breakfast to a rather large chain of pubs. So I'm quite sure you all know who I'm talking about. And we haven't been there for like 2 years. We were going to go to the little local cafe, um, but it seems to have closed. So that was just round the corner. And although we had the breakfast, which was relatively good value, I looked at the menu, and the menu has changed a lot in the 2 years since we've been there. A whole lot. And what I noticed, they had like the pub classics, and there was 2 to 3 pub classics were now not there. But I noticed that they had Cumberland sausage and mash, and then they had sausage, chips, and beans. And a lot of the things were from like the different flavors had changed to the burgers. So what they've obviously done is cut down the menu items, but changed or done different ones. So as I say, like there's now 2 sausage things in the pub classics that there wasn't. The number of burgers has expanded dramatically, but it's like burger with cheese, burger with bacon and cheese, burger with this, burger with that. So all they've just done is add different toppings, but it gives them so many more menu items. And I'm like, oh, I might have to do that myself. Let me just go back to this. Oh, Ashley, roughly about 2 grand. Charlene, the key necklace, was it a gift? Yes, that was from Patrick. It's the key to his heart, bless him. So yes. Willow, I have to say that's why we haven't been there for 2 years. We used to go there quite a lot. Good evening, Ganeko. Ganeko, honestly. Oh, Lana, I haven't noticed about organic produce. Oh, Vicky, bless your little cotton socks. Hugh, good evening. Vicky, hot drinks, blankies, the whole lot. Dylan, yeah, I think veggies are having a thing. However, thank you to everyone who told me to put my carrots in the fridge. Yes, that makes it a whole thing. And well, yeah, they're making it lower cost to make all the things in the menu. That's exactly what they're doing, which actually is something that I need to think about. Christmas food and winter stock, yeah. That makes starting Christmas so much stuff they didn't bring, but my fellows and us at the same time it's on. Oh, weird. Local supermarkets not had potatoes, dairy, or most fresh vegetables for a while, and that's the normal, not even organic. Oh, look at that! But then when we were in the shops today, Patrick could not get a normal like £2 bag of sugar for love nor money. It was 2k that was the only sugar he could get until we went to Farmfoods. So we got that. Pubs are using lower priced items. Yeah. Angeline, you're right. That is just, it was very, very obvious. Looking at that menu, that they've removed a lot of the higher priced items and they're expanding and just, as I say, like there's twice as many burgers and they've just got different toppings, or they're single burgers and then there's the same thing but as a double, but it's another menu item and it fills up the menu. So that was really quite obvious. Oh, thank you, decluttering queen. I have been on the phone to Kathleen today, so she's got all her stuff. We're ticking lists. Charlene, same food issues, high prices, less food in the summer. Yeah, shrinkflation is huge. Cocoa, yeah, everything is brought in frozen. We do know that. Um, it's like I have a friend who's a chef, like a proper chef, and he's very much his thing is the person in the kitchen at Witherspoons, because obviously if he's been looking for staff for his business, and they're like, "Oh, it was a chef at Witherspoons," and they're like, "How many microwaves did you have?" 8. He said, "You're not a chef then." He said, "I've got one microwave in the kitchen, and it's for heating up babies' bottles. That's it." He said, "Everything else we cook, we don't microwave, we don't buy in frozen." He's very big on that. So yeah, does Perth have a lot of grocery stores? It does actually. It's got, your Tesco, your Asda's, stuff like that. It's got pretty much. It's even got a small Sainsbury's, which is unusual for Scotland. Angeline, they seem to be filling spaces with offers either. Angeline, I've noticed that there. Where did I go? Was it last week? I went to Food Warehouse, which is the Iceland one, and half their veg boxes were taken up with chocolates. I found that very confusing. But it was chocolate offers in the veg department. I got very confused. So just live off of different types of beans. And yep, Dylan, I understand that. Oh, Vicky, the roasted sweet. Well, I cut it up to like chips or French fries type sizes, and it's fabulous because it sort of goes all bubbly. It looks like cheese pizza topping, with the little brown bubbles. And it's soft in the middle, but it's a bit crunchy like fries, and it was absolutely fabulous. So I have that and carrots and the other chicken skewers that I had cooked. So that's for lunches this week. So they're all sitting in the fridge. So that was it. St. John Restaurant doing very good, but he said he can't get the staff he needs as no one wants to apply for the jobs. Coco, no one wants to apply. But in saying that, I have to say, my thought process has changed with that quite a bit. Charlotte, no, Sainsbury's isn't as big in Scotland as it is in England, and I think Tesco's is the bigger one here. Don't feel like cooking much these days. Yep, I'm with you on that one, Michelle. I have to make a conscious effort to make sure I cook myself proper food. Sarah, good evening. The other side of town to me. Where's the Sainsbury's in Dundee? Kingsway? No, that's Tesco's. That's Asda's. I don't even know where the Sainsbury's is in Dundee. Yeah. Egg noodle. Yes, actually, I agree with you. Egg noodles are a lot tastier than the regular pasta, I have to say. And someone had put on my shopping video going, no vegetables again. That's because I'm actually doing a different video on the new air fryer they gave me to try. So I had a whole lot of vegetables because we all know I do veggies in the air fryer. So I did that. So there is a whole lot of vegetables in my world at the moment. I hate shopping at the supermarkets. Oh yeah, they move everything. As it's £13 an hour, he said no one wants a job, and the main chefs are also trying to cook and wait tables and not getting out of work. Yeah, Coco, I know exactly what he means. How rural am I? I am 3 miles to get a pint of milk, Michelle, and I am 10 miles to get a decent supermarket. Oh, it's near the Broughty Ferry side. Okay, I need to know about that. Rather do something else and cook. It's just me, so I don't have to cook for the family. Michelle, I'm with you on that one. It's not depression. It's just a lot of time for something that you could be doing something else. Oh, nice thought, Angeline. Oh, I love a good. Oh, root mash is fabulous. Right, bear with me a second because, as we all know, it is bonfire night and the cat is just meowed at the door. So, although I haven't heard fireworks, let me just let her in. Come on, baby. I hear you. You're lucky it's firework night, or you'd have been waiting till I was finished. Yeah, you coming to say hello? Oh, my baby. There you go. Come on. So, for anyone who hasn't met the Raven, this is the Raven, who doesn't really like getting handled very much. So this will last for all of like 10 seconds, and then she'll head. Look at you. Yep, there you go. Okay, don't do the thing. There we go. So yes, that is the the thing. The cat is now in, so that is all good. What would I rather be doing than cooking, reading? Oh, don't, Michelle. I went on holiday and bless Patrick and his brother and sister-in-law put up with me going, I've got the new book. I need to sit and read it. Oh, Nana Paula, I haven't done the hip, but the elbow was bad enough. The fact that she's broken both. And I am sorry to hear that. Oh, goodness. How far are you from the nearest little? Alan, stop it. I have a stash. Soon have 10,000 subscriptions. Oh, thank you, Stephen. That would be amazingly, ridiculously exciting, I have to say. I did not think of, I never thought I'd get this far on YouTube, to be honest. But it's fun, and it's actually made me cook differently. It's made me shop differently. It's made me look at different things. And it's made me think, like going out today and looking at that menu, and I'm like, oh, look what they're doing. I could do that. I need to put that out there so that we can all have a look and go, how can we change, just a normal burger to make it into a cheeseburger, to make it into a mushroom and whatever burger. And there was one that I have had when we went out on Halloween. Honestly, you ought to see the state of us. We were in full Halloween costumes and we went out. Oh my goodness. But we went to the one of the pubs and we had some food. And their burger had mushrooms and onion rings and mac and cheese on it. I have to say, it tasted really, really nice. But I had never thought of having all that on one burger. But you don't really need anything else if you've got that. And that's a great way to use up leftovers. Look at me being sensible. I would never have thought that. I mean, I have to say my food waste has gone down considerably since I started doing the channel, because I'm being more conscious about what I make, what I eat, etc., etc. Oh, Angeline, thank you. That's nice. And thank you, Stephen. No bug burger. No, Ben, if I know, no, just no bugs. Oh, you were a Skellington. Well, I had ordered a witchy costume, which didn't come in time. So I had to go running around my house looking for something. So Ashley, it was actually out on Halloween night. That was when we went to the pub all dressed up. I was what they called the riding mistress because I didn't have anything. So I ransacked my wardrobe and I put on black jeans and black high-heeled boots, a black shirt, and found an old costume corsety thing of Kathleen's and an old riding whip. And I went as the riding mistress. Mandy was a demon. She was a queen demon. She was like full red face with the crown and the big cloaky thing. Her cloak was gorgeous, by the way. My other workmates, they went as there was the witch and then there was the zombie. So we all went out with a great time. So yeah, it was an immediate thing of, what am I going to wear? This costume hasn't arrived. Herbs, don't particularly do herbs. And no, we did not go get a free drink, which I think we should have. Any photos? Like, I'm putting photos up, Susan. Behave. Don't be silly. Let's see. New hip the next day. How fabulous. Which is from Hocus Pocus. Nice. And it was a really good night. And you know, I looked kind of normal because obviously the corset didn't stay on for very long. But Mandy got a good few reactions, and then we came back, and I mean, we were home by the back of 9. It wasn't that it was a big night out, but you know, it was one of those days when we didn't get, you know, we didn't go out or anything for work. We went out for fun because sometimes we meet people when we're at work. It's like, no, we're not making any appointments for Tuesday because it's Halloween. So that was all Mandy's fault. Oh, Sarah, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Yeah, I mean, I've actually, you know, on the channel, I've learned how to do things differently, how to, as you say, save money, how to make sure I've got a backup, which is great because when you suddenly get a cold or whatever, or, you know, something like that, it is such a godsend to have stuff in the house that you can still look after yourself, even if there's a problem. And for me, although it's not as much now, there's been a few years when I was younger that it was, we've got snowed in, like to the point the shops couldn't get their deliveries in. So I'm always quite conscious of that in the background, that, you know, and all of a sudden it could be, you know, snowed in time or something like that. So yeah, it has changed the way I've done things. It's changed the way I've cooked. And definitely changed the way that I actually now preserve food that I never ever did before. And that is a huge thing. I think being able to dehydrate any extras, being able to pressure can, even the slow cookers. I use the slow cookers a lot more than I did now, to the point of I have a treble. And I will actually have all 3 slow cookers going on at the same time and just get everything done at once. So yeah. Mary, good evening. Oh, storage shed, bless. Ooh, in 50 to 60 mile wind. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, Crazy Solo, I'm sorry to hear that. Fingers crossed that you get a new job soon. Michelle, between you and Frugal Queen in France. Oh, I know. I was so worried about her when those winds came. Help me learn how to shop, eat better and cheaper, but still being healthy. Dylan, I wouldn't totally say that I'm being totally healthy, but, you know, it was just one of those things. Yeah, 2 large slow cookers and couldn't be without them. It's. Oh, Lana, fingers crossed for you. I still have my eggs, so I still haven't, you know, I was full of good intentions in making pancakes. That didn't work. But I can do that tomorrow or the next day. Lana, as I say, fingers crossed for all those eggs. How's my daughter's new job? She starts tomorrow, Ashley. Thank you for asking. So yeah, that's going to be a thing. See the baby monitor clip of the woman with the baby on jet. I did see that, and it nearly gave me conniptions, I have to say. Hated slow cooker. It never really worked for me. Perhaps it's a small fridge shop for you. Yeah, Michelle, mine is totally used for the. I put so much stuff in the freezer from the slow cooker. But yeah, that baby monitor clip, that was very scary. Sarah, one of my easiest things is, it basically works for anything, but it's basically turn on the slow cooker, throw in some onions, throw in some probably carrots, throw in some sausages, put a bit of water in till about halfway up the sausages, and stick it on high for about well, until I go out to work, while I'm out at work. And then when I come back in, I throw in some gravy granules, sausage casserole, dead easy. You can do the same with beef. You can do the same with um, chicken, although chicken, you need to make sure you put it on low because otherwise it'll overcook. Um, Lentil soup, I will put that on in the morning before I go to work. Um, and then I've got soup for coming back from work. So yeah, that's what I use mine for most of the time. Even things with if you've got like your curry sauce and things, you can put that in the slow cooker. But if it's a korma sauce, it'll separate if you have it for too long. So be careful with that. Um, some political leaders could learn a few things from you also. Yeah, don't think my political people like me too much. I have talked to my local MPs and I'm not exactly quiet, can I just say? So yeah, I did. What was it I did? Oh, I don't know if you remember, but there was you just got an address in the middle of live, an ad in the middle of live. I've got no control over that, Careno. They don't let me do live unless they can put an advert in it. I on long videos, I deliberately say I do not want ads to go through long videos, but I couldn't work out how to stop it this time on the live. Joe, yes, people use too much water in their slow cookers. Been there, done that. You don't need that much water at all. Oh, thank you, Charlene. That's nice of you to say. So wish they did budgeting in school. Crazy Soul, it's oh sorry, Sarah M just put slow cooker rice pudding. It's fabulous. We love that. Oh Grant, nice. Nana Paula, good night. Night to Anne as well. Have a good evening. Budgeting in school is a good thing because my mac and cheese, I learned how to make cheese sauce at school. And it was the same teacher that taught Kathleen. And she's like, oh, I can make mum's cheese sauce now. I can make mum's mac and cheese. And the teacher's like, what? And she's, well, mum's mac and cheese is like a favourite amongst all the friends. She says, and seemingly it was you that taught her how to make it. And she's like, oh my goodness. So, you know, it was a generational thing. That's where I learned to knit. That's where I learned to do basic sewing, basic cooking. Budgeting, no, they didn't particularly do that. But budgeting now is very different from what it was when we were there. The news was saying that air fryers are not healthy to cook with. Haven't seen that, Ashley. Need to go and have a look for that. Sarah, there is a thing called pudding rice. I got mine in Tesco's. Taught how to do budget meals. Yeah, I don't remember mine being told that it was budget meals, but yeah, some of them were really quite budgety. Yeah, I seem to remember like stuffed tomatoes or something. Not quite sure, but yeah, that was it. Should get more into making slow cooker stuff where you just chuck everything in and leave it to it. Yeah. That for me, that is just the absolute bliss of a slow cooker is chuck everything in and go to work. And especially in the winter, there is nothing better in the winter than when you have got when you've got like the really cold weather and the wind's howling and everything. And you're for me, I do not look out the windows until I am just about to go out the door. And I've seen me, I don't start work till 8, and I'm only maybe 10 minutes away from work. I'm very lucky that way. But I've seen me open the door, look outside and go, oh no, run back in. Well, take 2 steps back in from the back door at the kitchen and put a lentil soup in or put a sausage casserole in because I'm just like, I don't want to stand and cook. When I walk in the door, I want my food to be ready. I want hot, I want comfort. And the slow cooker is absolutely brilliant for that. Claire, good evening. Sidetracked by a space weather lecture. Ooh, that's a good thing to be sidetracked by. Go to the Asian section and get larger bags of pudding rice, and it works out so much cheaper than this. Oh, I did not know that, Angeline. I shall have to have a look. Stuffed peppers in school. My daughter did cakes. Yeah, I did cakes as well. That was where I first learnt my Victoria sponge thing. And I think I've probably told you before that Kathleen used to come down at like 8 o'clock at night and go, "Can I bake cakes, Mum?" At 8 o'clock, cup of tea with nice hot warm cakes. Okay, baby, you go do that. And I would just let her go and bake cakes. Because what's not to like when you're, settled down for the night and your daughter's making sponge cakes to go with your cup of tea, because the bribery was that she had to make me a cup of tea as well with the cakes when they were ready. So yeah, she learned that in school. Washing up, we have a dishwasher, so she was just told to get everything in the dishwasher and switch it on. Claire, a secret science geek is a very good thing to do. Oh, Mary, yeah, you do get small crock pots, because I had one ages ago when it was just Kathleen and I in a flat. We had quite a small crock pot. And then I found that I used it so much. And then there was a certain gentleman who had a certain birthday, and I did a surprise birthday for him. And this surprise birthday we did it down at the caravan park in Ayr, where we go now. And his family came up from England, and his family came over from Glasgow, and he thought it was just him and me. And then we arrived at the caravan, and his brother and sister-in-law were there, and it was like, "Oh, this is nice." And he's like, as he told me later, he's like, "Oh yeah, I thought that was really nice. That's what I was expecting." And then I went out to get something from the car, and he yelled very loudly, going, "Patrick, help!" And he didn't come out. And by this time, there's like 15 of his family standing around this car. So I had to yell on him even louder. And he came out, and there's all these kids and grandkids all standing. And I got the triple slow cooker out of Aldi's or Lidl's. I got it online. And we used that for feeding everyone. So like the first night, Kathleen had actually taken down all the supplies earlier. So the first night we had mac and cheese, bolognese, and something else that I'd frozen everything, and then it got put in the slow cooker. Well, slow cooker rice pudding, use pudding rice milk. What I do is whatever they say is milk, I put a tin of carnation milk in, evaporated milk. I put that in first and then top it up with normal milk. And sometimes you can put a nutmeg or cinnamon. Clara, good evening. Nice to see you. Strummerone, look up suspicious observers if you're into space weather. Ooh. That was nice, Coco. Oh, your slow cooker. It stayed in its box for ages. You got in so much trouble. I can understand that, Clara. But I have to say, for me, because it's mainly me cooking for me, or even just for me and Patrick, putting an oven on for 40 minutes to roast some carrots is not going to work, whereas putting the air fryer on is an awful lot easier. And it's big enough for just the two of us, which is great. And I'm just starting to get now that I'm doing some different recipes, and I'm actually, instead of just throwing in chips or burgers and stuff, I'm actually starting to make things that are a bit different. So yeah, I'm loving it. Do I have an Instant Pot? I don't. Oh, excuse me. I don't, Charlene. I have not invested in one of them yet. Oh, butter and slow cooker rice pudding. Haven't done that. Coconut cream. Nice. See? Look at this. Baby Tails, good evening. Nice to see you. Do I make Christmas cakes, Ashley? No, I do not. That's way too much effort for me and way too much times. If it's not quick, I very seldom do it. And I think that's another big thing that I've noticed is Oh, Maggie, good evening. Um, One of my big things is time. I hate it if I'm standing for hours doing something or I've got to go back and forward, back and forward. It's like I love my pancakes. I love homemade pancakes because they don't have that horrible aftertaste. And I have to tell myself that not everything is instant. You have to stand and let the pancakes cook, and sometimes you just have to take that bit more time to do something and it's worth it in the end. But I think that's part of the instant gratification that we've got just now with your social media and your everything can happen instantly. It doesn't. Sometimes if you want good food, you need to take the time and making your own stuff, because I have to say there is a huge difference. If I buy pancakes, because I've very nearly bought them today, and it's the pancakes have a tangy aftertaste. I don't know what it is. Drives me nuts. But homemade don't have that tangy aftertaste. And I can eat so many more homemade pancakes without the tangy aftertaste. So yeah, that is a big thing, that it is something that I have to keep telling myself every so often. And it's just one of those things. Um, are people allowed to live in caravans there? Yes, Ashley, they are. Like doing porridge, pancakes, or baked oats in the air fryer. I haven't done any of that in the air fryer yet. Um, but I have to, my overnight oats. I'm being quite good with them. I'm not eating as much bread now. But I'm really struggling using the honey, and I'm trying desperately hard not to try, not to use like refined sugar, to try and use honey with the porridge to try and cut down my sugary um, intake, and I'm getting there. But yeah, we're doing much better at the overnight oats things. And yeah, Maggie, you're absolutely right. Make your own stuff and jar up the leftovers. I do that. I have got a lot of leftovers in the fridge, and or not in the fridge, in the freezer. So that's what I am eating for like the next however things. Um, Homemade is better, and you eat more. Stop making bread. Oh, Maggie, making bread. Oh goodness. Yeah, making bread. It would be just cut it and put the butter on it before it was barely out the oven by the time we do that. Oh dear, oh dear. Baked bats. Oh please. Honey and molasses. Pressure can leftovers. Good plan. Make a big batch. Yeah, you see, but I only have space to do one pancake at a time in the frying pan, and that drives me insane. I can't quite decide whether it's because I would use the batter too runny, or whether big pancakes are better, or whether I should make the batter thicker and do more pancakes in the bigger thing and stuff. So yeah, watching this and thinking I haven't seen this before, and then realised, oh, Karen is live. Yes, good evening, Catherine. How are you doing? You should always know the live because it's a crap camera, because it's a laptop, because I can't work out how to do it. Bread maker is in use all year. Best. Yeah, I never quite got on with a bread making machine. I have never managed to do that, but I did manage to find a good recipe for making bread that doesn't take me too long. The biggest problem with it is if I try and do it in the winter, you know how it says leave the bread to rise? It's too cold in my kitchen, so I'll have to bring it through here where the wood burner is so that it gets the heat to rise. Um, it's like the mung beans. Remember, I sprouted the mung beans? I can't do that in winter here because it's not warm enough. They take forever and then they rot before they're actually done properly. So, stupid things like that that you don't realize when you first start. You just think, oh, I've seen someone do that. Let me do that too. Doesn't always work. Certainly not the same way every time. So, yeah, bread, definitely. But again, one of those things that once you start making it, you just eat so much of it. Good evening, Jamie. Nice to see you. Yeah, rotten mung beans, Willow. Just no. It was just so bad. I tried and I tried, and it was just like, no, after the third attempt, I'm like, right, I'm just waiting till summer. Um, oh, 8 years old and still going. Now, that is a good recommendation because how many of us are fed up by the built in obsolescence of some machines? Clara, in bed now, I know how to party. Don't. I did that last night. I was in bed by 8:30. I was absolute mince. I don't know what happened this week. Well, I do know what happened this week. We had such a busy week at work. Mandy and I were absolutely burst on Friday afternoon. It's just like, yep, home. So Friday night, Patrick came through, sat and relaxed. Yesterday, got a whole lot of stuff done in the house, and by 8:30, I was like, no, I'm going to my bed. I'm done. And I slept. I woke up at 4 o'clock, then went back to sleep, woke up at 6 and went back to sleep and didn't wake up till 8. Normally, I'm like awake by 10 or awake by the back of 6, 7. So, yeah, you and me both will. I really do hope this week is calmer. Fingers crossed. But, it's coming up to Christmas. We get some time off in Christmas, so that is a good thing. I am away for an evening with Patrick. We got a couple of nights, got a voucher for 2 nights away in a hotel as a Christmas present. So, yeah, hopefully we will do that. Went to beach, some blokes lighting fireworks with no warning, scares the kids and daughter fell over. Oh, bless. We so. Soup, sarnies with stew, bread and butter. I need to learn how to do bread and butter pudding because I always thought I would never like it. And then the local bakery did bread and butter pudding, and oh my goodness, it was fabulous. And then the way they do it is nothing like the recipes I've seen for bread and butter pudding. So I need to find out what kind of bread and butter pudding it is they do because theirs has got like raisins in it and it looks brown when it's finished and it's thick and it's doughy and it's just lovely. Oh, first week back at work after weeks off. Yeah, I think working from home is definitely the best way to go. Right, Lana, that's it. You and me next weekend, we're going to try bread and butter pudding. There you go. Well, we're going to try and find a recipe first. Let's not believe anything I say. I am full of good intentions. We cannot guarantee that we're actually going to carry them out. In a hotel for Christmas, seeing the family already packing food. Yeah, I don't quite know what we're doing for Christmas yet, but I'm sure we'll think of something. Depends what everybody else is doing. Bread pudding, but would eat way too much of it. Yeah, that's probably a good thing, Angeline, to think of is, yeah, if I end up with a really good recipe for bread and butter pudding and it's dead easy to do, that's not a good plan. I mean, I'll just eat it. We all know that. It's like having loads of chocolate digestives. I just eat them. Thank you, Catherine. So, yes. Maggie, yeah. Well, there's so many different bread and butter puddings, and some are very like frugal, and it's literally bread and butter with a bit of sugar or something. And then, as I say, the one in the bakery, the local bakery, it's got loads of stuff in it, and it's absolutely to die for. And she's not going to give me a recipe. I know that. So, I buy enough of it that she's like, no way she's going to give me the recipe for that. But that kind of recipe is bound to be out there somewhere. And that's the thing. It's looking up these things, and so many. Thank you, by the way, to everyone who puts up little recipes, puts up little suggestions. Because the amount of stuff I've written down in my wee book and I take notes of, and things like that, and it just makes things so much easier. Because people send things. I mean, look at us with that mayonnaise at stupid o'clock on a Saturday night. And I went and made mayonnaise and it was fabulous. And now there's so many of us making this really, really good homemade mayonnaise. And it's just brilliant. Out tonight. Oh, good evening, Julie. Thanks for dropping in even after you've been out. Bless. Oh, bless. That's gotten Sarah. Keeping away from pudding other than rice. No room at the mother-in-law's 1 year in that last minute accommodation. Bought up a week in Spain. Ooh. Nice. Oh, ketchup, crazy solo. Now, funnily enough, I have a lot of Polish friends and their ketchups are very different from mine. So I'm thinking I might have to try and do like proper ketchup. And that's you making me think it's a proper good idea. Bread and butter pudding, stale bread, dried out bread, break in chunks, add milk, add raisins or not, egg, sugar, or usually 1 can of sweetened bowl of ingredients in pan. Ooh. Complicated versions of the stuff that's great with it to find a faff-free recipe. Yeah. Oh, hawthorn apples. Yeah, I've read about hawthorn ketchup, but haven't quite got there. Oh, good plan, Claire. Recipe book to write things. Well, that's why I've started writing things down in the big green book. Oh, mustard seeds and vinegar. I have mustard seeds. Not that I eat a lot of mustard. Oh, lemon curd and put on. I haven't made lemon curd in ages. I really must make lemon curd because it is dead easy once you get it sussed. Not eat store or name brand mayonnaise. Said it was horrible, but when I made your one, they absolutely love it. Oh, nice. Well done, Coco. Does Kathleen like to put around in the kitchen? Actually, she does. She's actually really good in the kitchen. I have to say, I am quite proud of Kathleen that way because when she was a teenager and coming up, as she got older, there was a lot of times where if she wanted something, she would just go and make it. And there was so many of her other friends who were like, "Oh no, I can only eat this. Oh no, I can only eat that." And mum makes it better and stuff. And no, cat just goes and feeds herself, and she's more than capable of cooking for herself, and has been for many many years. So yeah, it's quite good that way. Oh, Sarah, thank you for that. I shall look up Shoestring Jane. Index cards are also a good idea, Angeline. I would probably lose them. 3 jars of the Asda Best lemon curd. Won't be making my own for a while. Yeah, I've got a jar of that up the stairs as well, which I'm trying not to open, but I'm quite sure it's going to be within its sell-by date soon. And I got it before I made my jam this year. So yeah, I think that would definitely be. Yeah, see, lemon curd's nice, and I can make things with it, and it's different. Light fruitcake for anyone who finds Christmas cake a bit much. Oh, good plan. See, we like things like that. That's the thing. For Christmas coming, we're all going to have to be looking at what different recipes are and what we want and what we'll actually eat because I have done that. I did that, I think, the first year that mum and dad were both in care, and it was just like Kathleen, Patrick, and I. And Kathleen was at her boyfriend, so it was just Patrick and I. And I bought so much stuff, like so much stuff, as in just in case. And we could have this, or we might have that, or we could have this, or we might have that. And I gave away so much food, which was good. But there was no point in buying it all. So I really need to actually proper do the thing. So yeah. Oh, thank you for that, Sarah. Nutmeg is a major deal in bread and butter. Is that what that's possibly what they use at the bakery? Ashley, do you have an artificial tree or a real tree every year? I don't have a tree now. I don't particularly decorate. Basically, because the last few years I've had so much of my parents' stuff in the house that trying to get space, trying to work out what I'm going to do. I mean, I've still got some Christmas decorations for the tree and stuff, but running about doing different things, going to the care homes, doing whatever needs to be done. And I just didn't, we went to Patrick's, we did a nice Christmas dinner last year, but I haven't really done a mad Christmas for ages. Tesco Christmas slots are opening up 6 a.m. on Tuesday. I have my Asda slot booked already. I just went on to Asda to check a price of something, and it was like, "Oh, Christmas slots are now open," and I was like, "I'll have one of them, thank you." So that was that. 3-foot black artificial tree. Kamal, good evening. So much easier than all the needles falling off, etc. Yeah, we've had various artificial trees, basically because of whatever mood Kathleen was in. It. Don't get me wrong, it was her that bought the tree and the decorations. So we've had the blue tree, we've had the white tree. Or no, it was a white tree with blue and white decorations. And then we had the black tree. But I remember there was one year when Kat was young, to try and sort of we had an old green Christmas tree, but we did the popcorn strings, and I got some tartan ribbon, and we just put bows on the end, and so really our only decorations were the lights. Everything else was homemade. We did some of the, the dough that you can make and you bake in the oven. We did some stuff with that. So yeah, we did that one, and I think that was really my favourite one, was the one where we just did the handmade stuff. So blue, black, and silver. Oh yeah, possibly. Nutmeg on baked. I haven't made baked custard in ages. Ooh. Cats, yeah, cats. Oh, that's about as much as a chocolate fire guard, Joe. That's not good at all. Yeah, nutmeg on rice pudding. I have heard of nutmeg on rice pudding. I do have nutmeg now. 68 years old. That's fabulous, Susan. We like that. See, those are good things. We like reusing things. Because reusing things is better, but decluttering is also a very good thing. We need to be doing decluttering. Inherited down, it's over 100 years old, and the branches are made of goose feathers. Oh my goodness. Cat at the top of the tree. Yep. Yeah, my old cat did that a couple of times. He'd come home and find the tree on its side. It's just like, no more. I'm done. So there you go. I'm the only one who doesn't go mad with food at Christmas. Well, I've been there and I've done that, and just, I think I'd rather get stuff I know we're going to eat and get it proper, and do that. Recommend making space in the freezer and picking up Christmas bits mid-December. That's why I'm making space in the freezer just now, Claire. Anything. Oh. Didn't bring any of the dinner stuff or frozen stuff, even though I was notified nothing was out of stock. Well, that was no use. Okay, so we're not going to trust Asda for my Christmas shopping then. Patrick, we may actually have to go to the shops. Not very good at that. Oh, Susan, fireworks still going. I'm quite glad I'm rural. That would just be a nightmare. Be reassured, the cat is lying on the couch on the blankie, quite happily preening herself. So we are done. Some of them months in advance, so it's stolen, not roast, box of shortbread. Yeah, that's what I do as well. Definitely buy bits in advance. Frozen was delivered to anyone as the driver hadn't updated the info, but oh goodness. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to the shops. Tesco Best Range has their pigs and blankets, 2 packs for £5. There you go. Right, people, I am going to head off unless anyone has any more questions. Oh, so many fireworks still going off. Bless. That's not much good. Ugh. Sausage meat is in the same offer. Nice. Okay, well, have a good evening, everyone. I will see you later. And have a good night. Catch you later.